House Speaker Paul Ryan is in Syracuse today. Find out why he came and who else is at his event.
And he's not the only arrival in the city. Governor Cuomo is reassigning state troopers to Syracuse. We'll have more on why.
It's been absolutely beautiful with all this cool weather, sunny skies, and fall foliage. But find out how long it'll last for in my full weather forecast. Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Paul Ryan is in Central New York tonight to help with Republican campaigning efforts in the region. Good evening, I'm Drew Carter.
And I'm Claudia Bellofatto. Ryan spent his afternoon with New York's 22nd District House candidate, Claudia. He is scheduled to appear at a fundraiser for Syracuse Congressman Gaga tonight. Citrus TV reporter Byron Tollefson is outside the Century Club where the event will take place. With more, Byron?
Yeah, that's right. The Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, is expected to arrive in just a few moments at a fundraising event for Congressman Gaga. It's all happening right behind me here at the Century Club in downtown Syracuse. Now, according to USA Today, this is the first stop in a 12-state trek in just 3 weeks. The goal is to help boost GOP House candidates, and Central New York is the first stop on his list. Now, Ryan will leave office in January. He announced his plans to resign in April, saying he wants to spend more time with his kids. His signature accomplishment was passing tax cuts last December. Gaga was up for re-election against Democrat Dana Balter. There's only been one poll on the race, and that was back in August when Gaga was up 15%. He defeated Colleen Deacon by over 20% back in 2016. Now, supporters have been out here since around 4:30. Supporters right outside of Dana Balter shouting things like "Shame on Gaga." I talked to Dana Balter right after, and she talked about how that the Gaga campaign has become desperate after a report by the Auburn Citizen that $1 million separated Balter and Gaga in fundraising amounts. Balter was up in that amount for Dana Balter. She also showed up 5, giving remarks to the press after she had said he was rescuing the Gaga campaign. There were other shouts all around, like no tax cuts from the rich, by Dana Balter's supporters, and that also Dana Balter was saying that they need to get rid of Gaga and Paul Ryan. But again, Dana Balter talking about how the campaign has become desperate on the Gaga end.
Gaga, his campaign has gotten increasingly desperate over the course of the last month. We've seen him levy increasingly negative and really gross attacks against me in an effort to avoid talking about the issues because he knows he can't run on his record.
Now, the midterms are just a few weeks away for Dana Balter and Gaga. No sign of Paul Ryan just yet, but we'll keep you updated on Citrus TV News Live at 6. For now, at the Century Club in downtown Syracuse, I'm Byron Tollefson, Citrus TV News.
Okay, Byron, thanks. And getting rid of plastic straws on campus actually made a difference. Syracuse University is now ranked 8th on the list of top 25 best green colleges in America. SU is one of the largest private universities committed to zero net greenhouse gas emissions. According to College Consensus, SU is one of the most eco-friendly colleges because it has one of the most sustainable campuses in the United States. The University of Pennsylvania, Northwestern, and Georgetown University top the list.
The Shine Atrium hosted the first Slice of Orange Day this afternoon. Students picked up their homecoming t-shirts and enjoyed games, prizes, and food. Most notably, the homecoming court was announced. The final Slice of Orange Day is tomorrow from 11 to 2.
Now that homecoming court is now sashed and ready to campaign for King and Queen. 5 girls and 5 guys were announced as candidates earlier today at Shine Student Center during Slice of Orange Day. Many students also won a free homecoming t-shirt.
A public meeting was held in Syracuse today to discuss reducing regulations on food trucks. Common Councilor Michael Green led the movement to decrease license fees and location restrictions. Food truck licenses currently cost up to $1,500, and trucks are granted one single location to park. Green wants to change the fee to $500 flat rate and allow trucks to have access to multiple blocks.
So what my motivation was, that I'd been to other cities where food trucks were a big part of the culture. They were creating jobs, they were adding vibrancy to the neighborhoods. When I looked around in Syracuse, that wasn't the case, right? So we had one food truck in the entire city of 145,000 people operating the right of way. So it was clear that I think the regulations that we had were not working successfully.
Remains believed to be from the missing baby Owen Hidalgo Calderon were discovered earlier this week. The bones were found on a farm in Sotis, near the location where mother Selena Hidalgo Calderon's body was found buried. An Amber Alert was sent out back in May after the 14-month-old and his mother both went missing.
Outlets kind of alluded to that we had abandoned the search on June 3rd. I can tell you that that's not. Every day since we received the call on May 19th, we have worked this investigation. Every single day, the Sheriff's Office has worked this investigation.
Extra state troopers will be deployed to Syracuse to combat the increase in violence. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced a decision this morning after Mayor Ben Walsh previously made the request for help.
In the past month, Syracuse has experienced multiple shootings that left 3 people dead and 6 wounded. City police and the new troopers will coordinate up to 10 daily patrols. This happens weeks after 5 people were shot on Midland Avenue, including an 8-year-old girl. A 12-year-old boy also died from a shooting this past week.
U.S. Marshals in North Carolina arrested a man who crashed an SUV while fleeing from Syracuse police 2 weeks ago. DeJounte Weller has a long criminal history. And
he was wanted for violating parole in New York and for failing to register as a sex offender in Georgia. After crashing his car in Syracuse, Waller fled on foot. He wasn't seen again until marshals spotted him in North Carolina. Hummus lovers, listen up. Wegmans is recalling its store brand food products because it may contain plastic. The Rochester-based grocery pulled the 8 and 32-ounce packages off the shelves. Wegman did not say how the pieces ended up in its hummus, and customers who bought the hummus can return it for a full refund. And the annual Syracuse Small Business Show is wrapping up at the On Center with over 130 exhibits this year. Small business owners and entrepreneurs had many opportunities to network. The keynote speaker was the owner of the Cicero Chick-fil-A. Actor Daniel Baldwin also spoke on the film business in Central New York.
A dangerous virus that can lead to paralysis and other nervous system defects may be sweeping through New York. State health officials say 39 children are showing symptoms of a virus that can cause the polio-like infection AFM. Authorities say no confirmed cases of AFM exist just yet.
The virus, called EVD68, only rarely leads to AFM. However, a 3-year-old boy in Buffalo is suspected to become the first confirmed case. Children and teenagers are most at risk of catching the virus, which has been found across New York State.
Grocery chain Tops is once again planning to pay millions in bonuses to top executives within the company. Top CEO Frank Cersei and 4 other high-up execs are expected to receive a total of $3.6 million once Tops exits bankruptcy. Tops proposed a similar plan earlier this year, but it was shut down because Tops was still in the bankruptcy process. How much each exec would make from the bonuses is still unknown. And the New York State Court of Appeals removed a Rochester judge from the bench after she was convicted of driving drunk. Leticia Estacio also violated the terms of her conditional discharge and acted inappropriately in the courtroom. In their unanimous decision, the court wrote that they were unconvinced that Estacio accepted personal responsibility for her actions. She hasn't heard a case since she was arrested in February 2016.
Now, Claudia, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was only a week ago that we heard people complaining about the hot weather in October.
That's right, Drew. I think you were one of them, but I'm pretty sure Mother Nature heard us because it was definitely not warm today.
Yeah, and a little birdie told me that there might actually be some snow in our near future. We have Sunny in studio. Sunny, can we expect some Syracuse snow this week?
Not this week, Drew. Not to disappoint you. I saw that he got a little bit excited back there with the no snow. But next week, definitely on Monday, there might be a few flurries. Now, let me walk you guys through what's going on today. We have 51 degrees, mostly sunny, 0% chance of rain, so it's going to be nice, clear skies into the evening. Moderate wind reaching up to 14 miles per hour. Now, guys, I included wind because it's pretty crucial that tomorrow, I should point out that it'll be almost 20 mile per hour winds. We have a high chance of rain throughout the day. You got that 45, 45, 48, staying pretty low in the mid to high 40s, moderate to high humidity into the evening, and possible freezing temperatures at night. Now, Drew, we were going to have some snow yesterday, but that humidity saved you, and because of that, we will not. So, guys, go out with your raincoats. You should be fine. You will not need your snow boots. Now, just to show you a little bit of what's going on today across CNY, we have 50s pretty much across the board, back to our Syracuse 51, and a 30-degree temperature decrease from last week. Back to you guys.
All right, Sonny, we'll take that for sure. Now, coming up, if you're worried about getting to the polls on Election Day, Uber and Lyft have you covered. Find out how after the break.
And President Trump reacts to the disappearance of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. Don't go away.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back. President Trump's 2020 campaign is underway with over $100 million already raised. Last night, Trump's re-election campaign announced they've raised $18 million in just the past 3 months.
This is an unprecedented amount of money for a sitting president to have collected in only 2 years of his term. At this point in Obama's term, he had $4 million raised.
Vice President Mike Pence and his wife visited the Peach State to survey the damage done by Hurricane Michael last week. He and Governor Nathan Deal will visit farmers who lost their crops.
This comes after President Trump and the First Lady visited the Red Cross Center in Georgia just yesterday. Trump issued a declaration of disaster in Georgia, calling for federal aid to parts of the state that were especially affected by the storm.
Uber and Lyft are having a special this election day to help people vote. Both of the ride-sharing services are offering free and discounted rides to get people to the polls on November 6th. Lyft told users in August and are partnering with Vote.org and TurboVote.
Uber announced last week they would be partnering with #VoteTogether and Democracy Works. Uber will be using a new button on the app that will say "Get to the polls" to make it easier for users.
Earlier today, police in Lakeland, Florida released surveillance video of a business owner fatally shooting a man who he believed was shoplifting from his store on October 3rd. Michael Dunn, who also serves as a city commissioner in Lakeland, appears to grab 50-year-old Cristobal Lopez as he tries to leave the store before shooting Lopez in the hand.
No charges have been filed yet, but the case has put the state's controversial Stand Your Ground law back in the spotlight ahead of the midterm elections.
The USA Gymnastics leadership team is still struggling to recover from the Larry Nassar scandal. Former U.S. Congressperson Mary Bono announced her resignation as interim president earlier this afternoon. The announcement comes less than a week after she took the position.
The organization received criticism on Bono's appointment from former gymnastic Olympian Simone Biles, Aly Raisman, and others. The criticism came due to their association with the same firm which helped USA Gymnastics cover up Larry Nassar's abuse. The latest on the missing journalist Kemal Khashoggi. A Turkish official claims Khashoggi was cut into pieces after being killed at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October 2nd.
The journalist went missing 2 weeks ago after he entered the consulate to receive marriage papers. President Trump sent Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to Saudi Arabia earlier today to meet with leaders and ask about the journalist.
What happened? What they know? What's going on? And he's got instructions to find out what happened.
Officials say the Saudis are preparing a report that will acknowledge the alleged death of Khashoggi. If Saudi Arabia is held responsible for his death, President Trump says he will place serious punishments on the country.
The UN High Commissioner of Human Rights is also demanding the government of Saudi Arabia and Turkey to reveal everything they know about the possible incident.
North and South Korea began talks today to transform a symbol of the divided peninsula into one of a new peaceful era. Panmunjom village, located in the DMZ, has been home to armed guards from both sides for decades, facing off in a daily stare-down.
Today, however, officials from both sides started talks to turn the area into a neutral zone where guards and tourists can cross the borderline freely.
These talks stem from last month's meeting between South Korean President Moon Jae-in and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, where the two sides agreed to disarm the zone commonly known as the Joint Security Area.
The caravan of Hondurans attempting to reach the United States have a long journey ahead of them. President Trump tweeted this morning that the United States will immediately end aid to Honduras if the Honduran president does not stop the migrants.
The group, who are fleeing poverty and violence, crossed the border into Guatemala last night and were detained by Guatemalan police today. It remains unclear if Guatemala will be able to stop the migrants, as many of its own people are migrants as well.
And here's what's trending. Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are touring Australia today. The couple announced yesterday that they're expecting their first child in the spring.
The child will be on its 7th in line to the throne behind Prince Harry. The newborn will be the first of mixed heritage in the royal family's long history.
And this does not seem like a bad romance. Lady Gaga is engaged. She revealed the news yesterday during a speech referring to talent agent Christian Carino as her fiancé.
Gaga was first seen with Carino in January 2017, and the two have been a low-key couple ever since. As an agent, Carino represents big names such as Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, and Jennifer Lopez.
Now, this is not the first time Gaga has been engaged. In 2015, her engagement to actor Taylor Kinney ended after a 4-year relationship.
As the remains of the storms push us off the coast, find out when Syracuse will get hit by the tail end. My full weather forecast is up next.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Now, it wouldn't be a normal week in Syracuse if we weren't seeing some rain, so I'm going to give you guys a bit of a closer look of that storm that I was talking to before the break. Now, it's clear until it is not clear anymore. There is that green that we have been expecting. That's going to be coming later on the week, which I'm going to show you in a bit in my full weather forecast. Now, this is blue. This is just temperature right now. So it's pretty cold, pretty blue across the spectrum. However, that's going to change as the storm rolls in. You're getting some darker blue in there. That means a little bit of heat as the week goes on, but that's mostly humidity because of the rain. Now, because of that humidity, I am happy to announce that we are in a high for our outdoor activity outlook. I am very excited, guys. We're normally at a moderate to the low. but it's cool and sunny as the week goes on. Cloudy and cold weekend, which is perfect sweater weather, perfect for apple picking or any of your other fall activities. And going into next week, that outdoor activity outlook is going to go down a bit, probably to low, because we can expect some flurries coming on Monday and Tuesday in the evening. Now, what everybody wants to hear is our full weather forecast. Look at today, nice 51, going to be rainy tomorrow. That's that storm I was referring to in the beginning. We have 49, 42, and the heat coming with the humidity is 58 on Friday. However, you can see it's going to be mostly sunny, so we have some 40s, 50s, sunny skies, nice autumn weather, and of course my personal favorite, it is a national day. Sunday is National Apple Day. It's going to be a little rainy in the morning, but still great weather in the afternoon to go out and go apple picking. Back to you guys.
All right, Sonny, great stuff. And coming up in sports, no more Syracuse Chiefs. How did SU football spend its bye week, and who got their money like they ring that they've never won yet? Stick with us for the answers.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I'm Noah Eagle with sports. If you're 84 or below, you're too young to remember the last time Syracuse baseball's team wasn't named either the Chiefs or the Sky Chiefs, and that's because it's been that way since 1934. Until now. Today, the team's new owner, the New York Mets, announced the team's name will now also be the Syracuse Mets. And we also got a first look at the new logo and uniforms, which very much resemble the Major League club. Now, if you're at home and thinking this must be temporary, it isn't. The Mets won't leave Syracuse until at least 2043. Plus, sometimes money makes you do it. The team will receive $25 million for stadium renovations. Back on campus, the SU football team faltered in its 2 games heading into the bye week this past week, and it was the run defense that said, "Sometimes I fall apart." But redemption is available on Saturday, homecoming game versus North Carolina, a team that only has 1 win on the season. However, that win did come against Pittsburgh, who Syracuse lost to a week and a half ago. Now, most of the time, a bye week constitutes rest and recovery for all of the 5 to 7 days, but not for Dino Babers, not following back-to-back losses. The team practiced hard to make sure fans didn't leave this weekend in tears. Game on Saturday is 12:20. And basketball fans rejoice. The NBA is back tonight, and there will be a handful of former Orange players taking shots this season. 6 Cuse alums will be playing this year. Dion Waiters for the Heat, Jeremy Grant in Oklahoma City. Recent teammates Malachi Richardson and Tyler Lydon are with the Raptors and Nuggets respectively. And the Houston Rockets told Carmelo Anthony and Michael Carter-Williams to come ball for me. A little bit of deja vu for Melo as well, who's on a new roster for the 2nd consecutive season. Back to football, where quarterback Josh Allen has pretty much been a rock star for the Bills. The rookie has led Buffalo to its 2 lone wins of the season thus far, but the 22-year-old was knocked out of last week's loss at the hands of the Texans. Nathan Peterman came in relief of Allen, throwing 2 interceptions in the final 2 minutes. And with Allen ruled out for this week versus Indianapolis, Peterman must feel pretty paranoid because the veteran quarterback Derek Anderson was signed last week and very well could start against the Colts this week. And at this point, it seems like anything other than the second-year man out of Pitt will make Bills fans feel better now. In postseason baseball tonight, a lot of people thought the Brewers' playoff run would be over now, but Milwaukee is on the brink of taking a commanding 3-1 lead over the Dodgers. However, Brewers fans should be patient in this series because Rich Hill has a ton of experience, especially in the playoffs, pitching in 8 postseason games in the last 3 years. This game starts just after 9 in L.A. as late-season acquisition Gio Gonzalez looks to spoil Dodgers fans' night. In the American League, the Red Sox make the trip to Houston to try to take a 2-1 series lead over the defending champion Astros. Both these teams sped through the regular season like a 92 Explorer, winning more than 100 games apiece. Houston sends 2015 Cy Young Award winner Dallas Keuchel to the mound tonight, and it's time for the 30-year-old to go flex. After getting a big contract in 2016, Keuchel's ERA is up to near 4 since then. The numbers fade, but the competitive spirit doesn't, although the Sox and Stros, it's 2-1 right now, Boston ahead of Houston.
All right, now you mentioned that NBA starting. I know the Nets have been bad for a while, but are they actually going to be better now?
Yeah, they definitely should be better now. It should be better now for the fans as well because they have the talent. They have a young core, Sean Marks, Kenny Atkinson and company. They should get the job done. I'm looking maybe towards a low playoff seed for the Nets this year.
Now that's aggressive.
You heard it here first.
All right, thanks, Noah.
Thanks so much, Noah. Coming up, some are considering breaking news.
Yeah. Bagel emoji fans? Maybe? You might be happy coming up after the break. Stick around.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News, and just like I promised you, to wrap up our show, breakfast lovers everywhere are excited Apple's latest emoji. The company added a bagel emoji recently that sparked outrage as the bagel looked underbaked and lacked cream cheese.
I'm furious about this. Apple responded to the criticism, and a new bagel emoji, that one looks a whole lot tastier, will be available with the latest iOS update. The update also includes other food items like a salt shaker, lettuce, and a cupcake, but none of those sparked as much controversy as the bagel, and I see why. You look at that first bagel, that looks nasty.
Are you mad about that? I don't know how much I care. How about you?
I mean, as the resident Long Islander, other than, of course, our wonderful EP Connor, we take our bagels extremely seriously. That bagel was a disgrace, and I mean, I'm super happy that it's now I get my filling, my cream cheese. I need that in my life.
I don't want any more arrogance about the bagels. I'm happy about the salt, though, because when you're salty, I've been looking for the salt emoji for a while now.
Perfect. Huge day for you.
Yeah, big one. Big
awesome.
One. Enough with the Long Island bagels, though. I'm tired of that.
And that's all the time we have for now on Citrus TV News. Thanks so much for joining us.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and check out our website, citrustv.com.
I'm Claudia Bellofatto.
And I'm Drew Carter. Good night, Syracuse. We'll see you next time.